not what you birth. Neighbors live in peace on this earth. 'Cause first impression is a lasting one. First impression, memorable and strong. First impression will always live on. 'Cause you will never get a second chance to make that first impression again.
Wealthy Wednesday Buzz on DBS Radio every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. What does wealth mean to you?
Peace of mind, money, happiness, health.
Let's discuss. Participate. Call in every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. with host Shema John. Happy Wealthy Wednesday Buzz! Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday Buzz. Good evening, my dear listeners and viewers. I know you all have been asking for the link, and so by now the link should be on the DBS Facebook page. And I am trying to put it onto my page. I know you tell me, Shema, we need the link earlier so we can tune in from the start of the show. We are going to begin with our Wealthy Wednesday Buzz prayer. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 17 to 19. Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, not to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. Command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, and to be generous and willing to share. This week also, we have some condolences. So I would like to express condolences to my family in Maho on the passing of my grand aunt, Auntie Ezo. So we'll be burying her on Friday. So all of my family members who are here, thanks for the support. I really do appreciate it. And today, you must be wondering, what are we going to speak about? We are going to speak about being a good godparent and being a good godchild too, because you cannot have a godparent without a godchild. And also being a good parent that you can select a good godparent. The numbers to call, I'm giving you the numbers very early. 448-3284, 1-800-327. The WhatsApp number is 616-1327. 616-1327. And the overseas number 305-432-9744. Of course, we would like to thank our sponsors, The Hub. The Hub is located on the EO Libla Highway, right off the Coliho Main Road. So that's The Hub, where you can chill, have a drink, have something to eat, watch the Caribbean Sea, watch the sunset. So this is The Hub. Courtesy Car Rental, the best place in Dominica to rent a vehicle. Courtesy Car Rental, they offer reliable vehicles, courteous service, great service. They're located also at the airport, at the Melville Airport. So if you're coming in, you take your vehicle at the airport, you go to wherever you want to go, and you can return it at the airport. We're also sponsored by ShopPay, and you can visit app, which is app.shopay online, and you can pay all your bills online without leaving your home. For those people living out of Dominica and they're responsible for paying their parents or their auntie or their godparents' bill, you can also do that from overseas without having to send money to Western Union. So you can say, Papa, I will take care of your light bill or your water bill, and you can use Shopee online. There's no fee, and you can pay your parents' bill. And of course, Big Edge. So we will go to the Big Edge advertisement at this time.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trials to face. At least when it comes to your waning finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got Big Edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. Big Edge, the cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan.
Welcome back, my dear listeners and viewers. So we are talking about selecting a good godparent. That's one. Being a good godparent, being a good godchild. So we're moving. When do you select a godparent? So it could be for baptism, for confirmation, in some churches for dedication. You are expected to have a godparent. Some churches, they call it a Christian witness, and some churches call it a sponsor, but they're one of the same. Now, in choosing a godparent for your child, you would need to look at the person's lifestyle. What kind of life is the person living? Now, remember the word is called godparent. Okay, so the person must have something godly, must be reflecting God in their lifestyle. The person should be practicing the same faith as you. So if you're Catholic, for example, you would like to select a godparent who is a practicing Catholic, because you're looking at that person to help you raise your children in the Catholic faith. So you'd like a person that is practicing the same faith as you. The person, in terms of the Catholic aspect, should have gone through the whole Christian initiation process. So the person should be a baptized Catholic, a Catholic who has made their first Holy Communion, a Catholic who is confirmed. And of course, I said the person must live a Christian life. The person should be obeying the commandments. The person should be able to spiritually impact your child. You do not select a godparent because the person is your friend, or the person has a lot of money, or you have known the person for a very long time. These are not reasons enough. A matter of fact, it is good to select a godparent that you have an established relationship with. That person that cares about your child and they care about you. So you already have a relationship with them. You know they're practicing the same faith as you. So if you're attending a Christian church, you all believe in the same things. If you're attending Catholic, you all believe in the same faith. Remember, a godparent is not a legal guardian. So do not think this person is my child godparent, and so if I die, automatically this person is supposed to legally take care of my child. It doesn't work out that way. A godparent is really church related. If anything were to happen to you, you would have to, in a will, indicate who you want to raise your children. So a godparent is not a legal guardian. Now, when you ask somebody to be your child godparent, why have you selected that person? I have seen situations where people select godparents out of convenience. Well, the person is there, so I will just ask him. He there already, so what else to do? Or because the person is your brother or your sister. Me personally, I do not select, or I have not, and I will not select any family to be my children godparents. I have not done it, and there are reasons why I decide not to do it. For me, it is, if you're already my child's aunt or my child uncle or cousin, I do not believe making you the godparent is going to make you do anything additional for my child or take him or her to church or be closer to her. As an auntie or an uncle or cousin, that is already a responsibility that you have. So all my children godparents, they are non-blood relatives. Well, they can be related auntie by environment. You know, everybody's an auntie out of respect, but they are not related by blood. Now, another point I want us to get into, when somebody asks you to be their child's godparent, it is better that you say, no, at this time, I am not able to. And not many times, you do not have to explain why. You just say, at this time, I am not able to, I am not willing to. I think it is better that you say that than you go in front of the church. And it's a whole vow when you go in front of the church and you take your hand and you put on a child's shoulder for confirmation or in baptism. You take this oil and you pass on your child, on the child's forehead, and you make a vow in front of the church, in front of witnesses, and you say, I will be there for you. I will show you the Christian faith, or I will be with you throughout the Catholic faith. Anything happen to your parents, I'm there for you, whatever the words are. But when you do that, you're actually making a vow to that child in front of God to look out for that child. It is not you just come to church and you do it and it's a social event and we have faith and then you go home. I think people take being a godparent too lightly. And if you really examine yourself, for those of us who are godparents, I've known so many people who are godparents, and they cannot tell you the last time they have spoken to their godchild. They do not even know how their godchild look. And I have the personal experience. My son has 2 godfathers, and if they see him on the road, they will not even know that this is a child they came to church with, and they did the sign of the cross, vowing in front of God to take care of him and look out for him. And it's not, I did not select the godfathers because I think they would probably have money, or they will give us this, or they will give us that. I selected 2 married, responsible men that I figure would be good to be able to lead my child into the Catholic faith. They were Catholic men. And I think we had a good relationship. And for whatever reason, they came to church, they did the do, and that was the end of it. They do not know my son do not know them. He would pass them on the road the same way. And I do not want parents who are choosing a godparent for the same thing to happen to you. For godparents, I want you to examine yourself and see whether you have been the best godparent. Because what I'm seeing, my friend, the person is your friend, you all drink rum together, you all pull up at the bar together, you all fete together. So you figure it is easy to just take the person and drag them to church. Even if the person doesn't go to church, drag them to church and have them be your child godparent. The person you choose for your child godparent, if the person is living a life of sin, you're actually taking that person, and a known life of sin, because we're all sinners, but a known and public life of sin. And you take that person and you bring that person to church to rest their hand on your child's forehead or on your child's shoulder. You're actually putting some kind of jinx on your child. Do not do that to your child. Now, parents, like I say, godparents are not money machines. Godparents are not there if your child wants this and your child needs that and your child wants that. No, that's not the reason for godparents. You see a person in your community, you're very satisfied, very pleased, very impressed, very happy with the way they're living their life. You have an established relationship with the person. You can come to the person and say, I've seen the way you live. You're always at mass. I admire the way you raise your children, or I like the relationship I've seen that you and your wife have, or you and your husband have. And I would really like for you to be my child godparent. If it's not that, do not select that person to be your child godparent. Now, godchildren, you too, you have a role, because a lot of times godchildren just think they would prefer, Mommy, best you take this person because that person have a big house, or that person have money, or they have a nice vehicle, or whatever it is. Godchildren, they also have a role, because when they're babies, they don't know better. But as you're growing older, and you know that person is your godparent, and that person has been part of your life, you too, you have a responsibility. So the same way your godparent, when it's your birthday, when it's Christmas, they can reach out for you. When it's graduation, they can give you a gift. They're always looking out for you. The same way, when it's Father's Day, when it's Mother's Day, you are supposed to reach out to your godparent also. And when you get older and you're working, reach out to them. So it's a two-way situation. Now, there's some reasons why the Catholic Church, for example, would not allow certain people to be godparents. If, for example, you're not living a life according to the church that is reflective of God. So, for example, if you're married in the Catholic Church and then you're divorced and then you go out there and you get married again, let us say in court, and then you're still worshiping in the church, and once the priest is aware of that situation, the priest is not supposed to allow you to stand for a child. If you're living in a house with your partner, unmarried, they are not supposed to allow you to stand for the child. But once you're 16 years and over, you have done your first Holy Communion, you are baptized, you're confirmed, you're living a good life, you're practicing the Catholic faith, then you're in good standing to stand for a child. So this is what my take in terms of being a good parent. I would like to challenge godparents out there. If you have not spoken to your godchild in how many years, reach out to your godchild, because being a godparent is like taking a marriage vow. You say, I promise to do that. I promise to look out for you. I promise to be part of your life. So you have to do better. You have to improve your relationship with your godchild or with your godchildren. And godchildren, if your godparents are elderly, you too have a role and a responsibility to look out for your godparents. Like I say, feel free to give me your take on it, to make your contributions. You can call in. You can put a comment on the Facebook page. And I will just continue on by recognizing our sponsors. So the Hub, which is located on the Eolibla Highway, right in Coliho, on the main road in Coliho. So that's the Hub, where we go out and chill. You can play some pools at the Hub, eat, drink, go upstairs and watch the Caribbean Sea and just relax. Courtesy Car Rental, if you're ever in Dominica and you need to rent a vehicle, the best place to rent a vehicle in Dominica is at Courtesy Car Rental. I can assure you, you will have no breakdown on the road, having to call people at whatever hour of the night because you break down and you're afraid. Courtesy, always, their vehicles are always well maintained. So you rent at Courtesy, affordable prices and very good service, Alvin and his team. Then Shopee, you can pay your bills at Shopee, and not only at the Shopee office on 33 Kennedy Avenue. You can pay your bills at Shopee, at Phone Shack in Roseau, at Greens Supermarket, a wholesale in Loubier. You can also pay it in Bellevue. I think there's a shop in Bellevue or Minimart. You can pay it there also. And you do not pay any extra or any fees when you're paying your bills. If you're living overseas, you can use your credit or debit card. Go to app.shopee online, register, put in a credit card there, and then you can pay your bills. For example, how I pay my water bill before I would call into the Wasco and ask them to pay it online using my credit card. Since Shopee has come into play, I've been paying my bill with Shopee, and I've actually done automated payments. So every month, like today, I saw a credit card amount, and but to me, I didn't use my credit card. And when I look, I remember, that's my every 28th, my water bill will automatically be paid using the Shopee application. And then we move to Big Edge. Then we will welcome your calls and your contribution. We will choose our buzzer thereafter.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trials to face. At least when it comes to your waning finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. Big edge, the cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in a flash.
Thank you and welcome back. We are discussing being a good godparent, being a good godchild, and as parents, selecting a good godparent for your child. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome and contribute. Thank you.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
I am listening to your program. Very interesting, very educational, very inspiring. As a Catholic, I very appreciate the explanation that you are giving for some people, parents who need to have a godparent. Very interesting. I appreciate it. But let me tell you something. You just said something, an advertisement. There is a friend of mine who came to Dominica last year. They rented a vehicle from Courtesy Rental in Goodwill, right? They're in Goodwill.
Caller, you have to go quickly because I only have a short time to do the program.
They are in Goodwill. They are located in Goodwill, right? Courtesy Car Rental.
Yes, they are located in Goodwill, close to the St. Alphonsus Church.
My friend had a flat tire. Okay? And they got the figure, and they made my friend pay a whole $400.
You can call me. You can call me to speak about courtesy 285-7003. Call me. I have to continue on with my program. So we are continuing on with the program. We're not there. Courtesy is the best place to rent your vehicle. If you have an issue, call me or call Courtesy. I'm speaking about godchildren and being a good godparent. So we have a contribution from Nathalie Blaise, who indicated that godchildren always looked for gifts from their godparents on special occasion, but they hardly give godparents gifts. And this I spoke about. As a godchild, the same way you're expecting gifts for your birthday or for your graduation or for Christmas from your godparents, is the same way as godparents. We're expecting you to call us on Mother's Day and on Father's Day and to check on us and to look out for us and come and say, God, mommy or auntie or whatever it is, you want me to do anything for you? Can I wash the vehicle for you? So it's a two-way street. Too many times godchildren and nieces and nephews, they always want to get from the adults and they're not willing to give. And the parents have a part to play in that. So, for example, for my son, his godparents are so nice to him. That's Marilyn and Auntie Vando. Every birthday, every Christmas, they will look out for him and give him something. And I have to be the one telling him, Elvon, you have to call them. Mothers, they call them, reach out to them, check on them, and do not always wait for them to give you something. So I'm saying that to say that the parents, we have to play a part as parents. You cannot always want to get from the godparents and not let your child be responsible also for reaching out to the godparents. So that is something parents have to put in their children's head. As I was coming in, somebody said to me, they have 13 godchildren, but it's almost like as if they're the children father, because everything they always want something, and they feel like they're not getting anything in return. A lot of godparents not asking you for your money and so on, but it's a relationship, and relationship has to go both ways. So the same way you're expecting your godparents to spend time with you, the same way you too have to make some kind of move and come across to your godparent, especially when you're getting older. If you're a baby, then that's one thing. But as you're getting older and age of reason, you too, you need to make a move. We have a contribution from Lydia Harrison, who states that some godparents don't even know the names of their children. And you're very correct, because I use my son, godfathers. They do not know his name. They do not know his face. No communication at all, not birthdays, nothing. That's why parents need to sit and really make a good decision on that. So that I agree with you with. But I really thought when I was choosing my son's godfathers, because they were married men, they were practicing Catholics, I really thought, and I had a relationship with them. They always used to be with me, around me. So I really thought it was a good decision I made when I selected them. But only to find out my son is 15 years. They do not know his name. They do not know his face. The only way they might figure it is he is if they see him with me, walking on the road, then they will. But they're feeling so bad because after 15 years, never had a relationship with the child. What are you really going to tell the child? Now, for it has happened already. I'm saying for those of us who've got children, it is not too late. Once we have life, it is not too late. Make an opportunity. There's an opportunity right now. Reach out to your godchildren. And most of the godchildren, they do not require anything from you. So my son doesn't need anything from any godfather. You know, they do not require anything, but you never know later on you're going to need that godson to check on you. And so one time I would like to big up my children's godparents, especially the godmothers. I've been blessed with great godmothers. It could be because I had an established relationship with them. It could be because they have their lifestyle is Catholic and they're practicing the faith. So I would like to big up Pepita, Gilda Nesty Tong, and Susan Williams. These are my daughter's godmothers, and the godfathers, they're not so strong. For some reason, godfather's not so strong. But I'll still give them a little big up. Cartwright and Cheche. But my son's godmother, that is Auntie Vando and Marilyn, they have been a pillar. They have been there. They know everything that's happening in my son's life because we have that relationship. So parents do not just go picking godparents vi because all you liming together, because you all are cousins, because she's your sister, and if you don't take her, she might feel away. If you go and take somebody else, don't do that. Select somebody you think that you would like your child to imitate. Select somebody that if you're dead, you would be sleeping in peace, that your child will be cared for, your child will be looked after, your child will continue on in faith. Do not select people because they have status. Do not select people because all you drink rum together, because all you fed together. Okay, so that is a lesson for you right there in selecting your child's godparent. Then Pepita, my number one fan, every program she's there contributing, but you're still not going to be the buzzer. So Pepita is saying people need to know when to decline the offer, very good, of being a good godparent. Godchildren is way too much, in my opinion. So Pepita knows she doesn't have the ladder. Why? She doesn't have the zeal to be any godparent, so she wouldn't take on that responsibility, and you just tell her to be a godparent and for her to just say, yes, no problem. But she couldn't tell me no, because we had gone too way back. But I totally agree with you. When somebody, and it has happened to me, somebody came up to me and they said, I would like it to be my child godmother. I said, I will not be able to, because I do not even have a relationship with you. And so how am I going to have that relationship with the child? But I know why they were asking. They were asking because they seen I'm in church, I'm doing animation, I'm part of the church, and they probably figure I'm a good person to have. And yes, it might sound selfish, but I'm not going to be any child's godparent if I do not feel I can give my all. I have 4 godchildren. I have a relationship with all of them. So you're talking about Terje, Quintin, Ernel, and Karim. These are my godchildren. I do not want a whole truckload of godchildren and then I cannot have that relationship with them. So parents, do not select people out of friendship. And people, if you're asked to be godparent, do not say yes because you do not want the person to feel bad. You're better off saying no and giving the person an opportunity to have a good godparent. So if we have any callers, any contributions, I will just continue on. Well, our buzzer for this week is Lydia Harrison. So Lydia Harrison, you're our buzzer for this week. So we have 4 buzzers for June. And so next week, when we come in, we are going to select the buzzer for June out of these 4. So we have Lydia Harrison, we have Martha Laurent, we have Peter Dover, and Mignon Roll. So one of these 4 people, Mignon Roll Shillingford. Thank you, producer. So one of these 4 people will be the buzzer for June. And the buzzer for June will win a $50 gift voucher compliments HHV Which. You might say, Shema, $50 then. Who does give you a $50 just like that? Nobody gives you a $50 just like that. At least you can take that $50 gift voucher, go to HHV Which and pick up some cleaning supplies, pick up something. I myself wouldn't mind it. So that's what it is. So are we going to be better godparents? I'm not hearing. So we need to be better godparents. I'm going to even do better. I'm good, but I would like to be great. And as a result, before I go on vacation, I intend to take my godchildren to a Sunday Lime. I said I'll do it on the 4th of July, since that might be a holiday in Dominica. So I think 4th of July is a holiday, the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. I'm not the one pronouncing holidays, but whether it is or not, I'm intending to take my godchildren to a day on the beach with Auntie Sherms, where we will eat, drink, be merry, bathe in the sea, and have fun. That's what I'm going to do. I'm encouraging people, if you're a godparent, reach out to your godchildren. It's never too late. The relationship might not have been established, but it's never too late to reach out to your godchildren. And godchildren, you have a responsibility too. Reach out to your godparents. That's your responsibility also. Parents, do not do your children a disservice. Choose a proper godchild for your children. Okay, so we're wrapping up, we're ending. I'm seeing my Mervyn D. Anthony in the studio. I do not want to take more of his time. And so I'd like to I always thank, because gratitude is a must, Ivona, for being there every Wednesday until I learn the console. Ivona, I need to learn that console so I can do my own thing and you can relax with your family and your godchildren. And of course, my girl and my cousin and family for life, Tracy George. So thank you for tuning in. Congratulations, Leader Harrison. And let us try to be better godparents and godchildren. Happy, wealthy Wednesday buzz.
Thank you for being part of Wealthy Wednesday Buzz. Join us again next Wednesday and every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. for another interesting discussion with host Sherma John. Happy Wealthy Wednesday Buzz!
I